Okay, let's wait for the recording to start. Recording has begun. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to our session number 4. And thank you very much for all your support. So, joining on time. This session might be longer than 60 minutes. So, because the concepts are pretty bigger than the what we have discussed before. I'll stopping my video. I'll start sharing my screen. And I'll be going into this one. So, what is that we are discussing today? We are trying to discuss forms, form handlers, landing pages, and so you can call this one as a lead generation tool. Okay, lead generation tools with the help of forms, account engagement form handlers, account engagement landing pages. Okay, having said that, so if you people have any questions from the previous session, please ensure that you people are asking on that. So in the previous one we were discussing about how Salesforce syncs, what syncs, the trigger and the logic behind syncing. Based on that, we discussed about list, static and dynamic, and we created one static and one dynamic list. Okay, so now I'll be going with the forms, which is a lead generation tool, and I'll be creating contents for that. And then when we progress, I'll be explaining you people what all the things we'll be doing. So I'm in the content tab of account engagement. Here you can see the forms, form handlers, and landing pages. So with respect to this, so we will be discussing some of them. So I'll go with the session number 4, forms. So that is what we will be discussing first, which will be placed in a landing page or landing pages. Then we'll try to discuss what is forms handlers and when do we use these of them. Okay, so to make it simpler and to make it easy for training, so I'll be creating a segmentation list which will be static, so that whenever submit a form is submitted, they are being placed in a specific list, which is our static list. So I'll be creating a static list, and I'll call this one as MCAE, Marketing Cloud Account Engagement. Okay, uh, registration. This is the list what I'll be creating, which is a static list. I want this to be capturing the leads. Okay, segmentation list. I'll be creating a new list which will be a static list, and I'll be placing this in a specific folder called MCAE, and I'll be just creating this, which will be empty initially, and we are expecting whenever you submit the form they are placed here. And now will be explaining the content tab. In content tab I'll be creating a form, and that form with the button add form. So first let me call this one as MCAE registrations. So I'll just go with the same name. Okay, tags are optional and it will be placed in the folder MCA. So we have a tracker domain. So tracker domain will, this is the one which will be used as our tracker domain, and the campaign will be 2025 events. Okay, so there are 5 screens here. You can see this. First you'll name the form, you'll specify the field capture, you'll define the look and feel, you'll go with completion actions with confirm and save. Okay, so the first screen is completed. I'll go to the next screen. We will define the fields to collect as a lead generation one. So where you're completing this one, so you have form, first name, last name, company, and email. I don't need company, you can delete this. And with respect to first name will be an optional one. So first name, you can rearrange this by dragging and dropping, as simple as that. So when you click on this edit icon, you will see some of the tabs here: basic, advanced, values, progressive profiling, and dependent fields. Okay, when it comes to your first field, that is the one which I am talking about, is specifically the first name. First name is not required. You can specify required and not required with the help of a very simple checkbox here. The first name will be captured in a prospect field called first name. The type is text. The different types what you can select is text, date, checkbox, radio button, drop down, text area, and also you can go with hidden fields. Data format will be in the text format. This is optional. I'll click on save. So now I would like to even explain some of the additional things which whenever you're creating a form. If you want to have a very simple form, I'll go with a very simple form now and then I'll update it later. I want email address, which is a required field. First name is optional. The last name is optional. If you want to add more fields, you can click the button add new field and you'll specify the prospect field where you want to collect. The default fields which are present are first name, last name, email, company, website, job title, department, country, and more. You also have some of the custom fields which are mentioned here. Okay, so just wanted to explain on that one. So I'll go with a very simple form for the first one. So email, first name and last name. This is what we want to collect, and I want to collect a hidden field also. Let's see whether we have that information. Opted out, salutation, comments. Let me push this away. We have attended event, Alpine product interest, more interest, Einstein lead scoring, and more, right? So what is that I want to collect is I want to collect the source where they are coming from, which will be a hidden field. It is not required, but it will be a type of hidden, and the data format will be in the text. Okay, and source will be here. So let me go into hidden field. So error message, progressive profiling, source, hidden text, and save changes. Okay. So source is a hidden field. So I'll go to the next one. In the next screen, you have to specify where would you like to place this one. So layout is a mandatory one. I'll be going with the help of the default one, which is standard form. Okay, standard form. So standard form is a default layout. What is that I want to specify in the button? I want to specify mm, register here. Register here. This is the button which I want to specify. What is that you would like to display above the form can be mentioned here. Below the form can be mentioned here. Styles with respect to font, font family, font color, you can align all these things based on your requirement. There is a advanced tab. There are three check boxes here: kiosk, data entry mode, do not cookie. Basically, do not cookie. If I select this, the one will be not cookied, and you can see include if it is not you. And I'll be explaining this in. I'll be going with the very simple form now, standard one. So I'll explain this advanced in the upcoming one. So would you like to have a thank you content? You can specify it here. And you have two checkboxes here. Redirect to following URL instead showing the form's thank you content. Okay, what is that I would like to do now is I would like to redirect them into our, okay, I would like to redirect them after thank you in this one. Okay, just showcasing. I would like to redirect them to this URL. Okay, which is our YouTube channel. So completion actions. So you are getting introduced to something called automation. So automation. So when we are discussing automation, we'll be discussing this. So when it comes to automation, you will be learning a dynamic list, page actions, okay, automation rules, and completion actions. Okay, so it's a kind of a mixture of both. That is the reason this session has been going with automation also. So I'm just trying to explain you people on automation rules too, along with this automations. Under automation, we have four types: dynamic list, page actions, automation tools, and completion actions. What is completion action? When they complete this form, what is that you would like to do? Would you like to add tags, add them to a campaign, add them to a list, adjust their score, and you have huge list here. So set the profile, set prospect. So we will be discussing about the profile in the last session number 5. Okay, just for, so now I'll be adding them to a list, and that list would be this one, MCAE registration. Okay, this one. So you can add more conditions also here. You can add more actions. I would like to send an email. So you can also, let's see whether we have autoresponder emails in the completion actions. We cannot send this. So I'm just giving it. If someone submits a form, I would like to notify user, which is admin user, and because this is one of the forms where they will follow up and complete the purchase things, so add actions. So I would like to, even if this is the form where they will be adjusting the score, by adjust the score, enter the number, so it will be 25 points additionally which will be added. Okay, plus 25 points. We'll see all of these things. I'm just giving some examples here. Completion actions: add to list, notify the admin user. Instead of admin, let me select Chandra Prasad, would be good. And adjust the score by 20. So this is some of the examples. You can also add conditions before it has been added to them. Add an action. What is the condition? If the prospect account field, if it is already assigned or others. Okay, you can also do that. You can have conditions. So redirect them to URL. So I'm done with section number 4. And at last you'll confirm, you'll get a redirection URL. So I'm waiting for this one. I'll just click the button confirm and save. Once I confirm and save, you can see the URL here, go.mcaeforce.com. What is this one? This is our tracker domain, right? Which we were discussing in session number 2, where we have this as our tracker domain. This is the domain which we wanted to send an email. This is our tracker domain. And you can also see the reflection of that one here. Okay, once this is done, you will be always able to see the prospects, the landing pages which are using. We don't have a landing page. Always a best practice to have a landing page associated to your form. Now you might be wondering, Chandra, we don't want to place this form. We don't want to place this form in the landing page of account engagement. Then in that case, you can ask the HTML code. You'll see this iframe code. Copy this iframe code and give it to your web developers. They'll place in the website wherever they want to place this one. This is the code to be placed. Okay, just for example, I was showcasing that. Okay, now I have everything, so I can go and submit this form directly, or I can place this form in account engagement landing pages. Okay, I'll be creating an account engagement landing page. Same process. So MCA registration, I'll call this one as MCAE registration landing page. It will be stored in MCAE folder. What is the title would you like to give this one? Registration form title. Registration form title will be visible here in this area. Okay, that is what the title is for. Just for example. What is the tracker domain? Tracker domain is go.mcae. So, and the campaign they'll be into 2025 events. Good with this? Hey, I'll click next. Now I need to place this. Would you like to have a form in this landing page? Yes. There might be some cases that you want to just have a landing page without a form. So there are 3 options. You can create a form from the scratch. You can create or use the existing form, which is our MCAE. Since I've created this as a step number 1, this will be used. Redirect this prospect instead of showing the thank you content. Yes, I would like to even add that here. Redirection direct to our YouTube channel. Okay, just in both the places. So you might be wondering why is that I'm placing in both the places, because we are using a landing page, or if you're using an iframe, even that will take care of it. Okay. So what is next? You need to specify in which one you would you like to spaces. So I'll be placing this in a standard form, opening the general content for the standard form. You can design it here if required. So I'll click next. I'm not going with anything. So if I confirm and save, I'll be getting a landing page link here. Okay, I'll be getting a landing page link. Now, I would like to see how this page looks. I have not designed it beautifully. I'll click on this link. This is the link which will be used in. So it's a very simple one. So here you can see the button. So may we use cookies to track your activities? We take your privacy very seriously. Please see our privacy policy. I'll click yes. Now I'll be specifying my email address. This is my landing page, and you can see the title here. So let me submit this form with my email address. As you can see, this don't email me on this one. I'll be not active on this one. So the first name is Chandra and the last name is Prasad. Okay. When I click the button register, okay, when I click the button register, I'm expecting this to take me to our YouTube channel. I click on register, take the mouse away, and there are a couple of things which I'm expecting to happen after this one. Okay. Expecting that to redirect, hoping that it will take us to our YouTube channel. Probably if it is a developer account, some things might not work as expected. Even that is fine for now, but it should work in our production now. Okay. So now I have submitted the form, right? You can view the report, you can copy it, you can view it online, you can also go with edit, or you can edit this. So this is the link. So in you need have to wait here. So I'll go back to landing page again, and let me open up more here. Yeah, this one. Let me copy this, open in an igniter mode. It should have been visible there. Let me see. I should get a message. Okay, this looks good. I'll say yes. I'll resubmit it. Not required, but still. Developer account might have one or two unexpected things. Don't worry on that one. It will work as anticipated in your implementations. Okay, I'm submitting it. Okay, it is taking here. That's fine. I'll allow the third party cookies. Okay, it is still rolling. That's fine. So now after submitting this form, what is that you're expecting? You can see the expectation here. So you can see the score of this person who is online, and you can see the landing page here, right? Landing page has one prospect. So to make it easy, simpler to make it people understand, you can also submit the form. Let me share this link with everyone on the chat window. It would be great if you people can start submitting this landing page. It would be great. Okay. Um, okay. I've given the link to everyone so you people can start submitting that form. I would like to report on this. Now, I would like to more explore our form options. I would like to explore more on this form options. So first thing, I will go into the report of this landing page, and you can see there are two conversions, means all the people are new here. One is Kalhara, okay, where she has 54 points, okay, and I will be explaining what is the score, what is grade in our next one. This is an interesting one. Now we would like to know whether they have been added to our list, right? So when you submit the form, we are expecting that you should be added to our list, which is MCAE registration list. There are 9 prospects. Really, really great. Thank you everyone for submitting this. So we have Badri, Rahul, Gautam, Rajgopal, Harshvardhan, Rajgopal, and more. Right? So let me take my record here. I would like to see more information. Like, so if you can see, I have visited one page, right? And this is the form which I've submitted, which was placed on a landing page. On successful submission, I have 50 points. Okay, and I have more points, right? What is the number of points you see is 79 points. How did I end up in 79 points? Let me click on this score, and you can see form completion action. You can see that there are 25 points because of this. Landing page submission is 50 points, page view is 1 point, and a visitors page has 3 points here. Okay, if you add all these things, 50 plus 25, 75 plus 178 plus 379, sorry, 76 plus 3, 79 here, right? So what all the other things I have done? So I'm expecting an notification whenever they submit the form. You can see I am receiving a notification email that the people are submitting here. So that is one of the actions which I have submitted or given in my account engagement form. What all the things I did in the form? Let me open up that form and let me show you people. You don't find any of the reporting on this form. So you can see that there is no prospects. There is no prospects visible on this form. Why? Because reporting happens on the landing page. Reporting happens on the landing page now, which I'll be discussing in the upcoming minutes. So now, with respect to completion actions, first you'll be added to a list. We can see them. Notify the user happening, and we have adjusted your score 50 points plus 25 points. 50 points is a base one. So you might be wondering where is that 50 points has been given. Don't worry, we'll be discussing this in the next and the final session, where we will be discussing on automation settings, where we have scoring rules here, which is very important here to know. So scoring rules we will be discussing on this one also in the upcoming. Okay, that is the exactly the next session, the final session. So it's great that we are getting introduced to some of the concepts like automation. One of the automation which I was explaining is completion action with 3 of them. So we'll try to understand what is automation rules, page actions, and dynamic list. Okay, so now projects. So we have a form, we have a landing page. So you might have a scenario that, Chandra, I have a web page of my website, of your client website. They have built a form within them, but they don't want to use the form or the landing page. What is the scenario is, they don't want to use the landing pages of account engagement. They don't want to create a form. They don't want to create a form, okay, which has been built within account engagement. They have already built a form, but they want to use that form. Okay, they want to use that form. So in this case, you will be creating a form handler. So do remember, so the client is specifying that they have built a web form in their website. They want to submit it. When that is submitted, they want to push that data into account engagement. So you need not have to build a form, you need not have to build a landing page, but in this case you have to go with the form handler. Okay, the process is simple, but what is that you need to collect? So if you want to go with form handler concept or form handlers, you need to get the information from your client. What do you need? You need the name of the fields in their existing form, in their existing form, which is being built on their website. So basically, let me build one simple form. Okay, I'll be going with a very simple form. So assume that the team has already built a form in their website. Okay, I'm just demonstrating that form. So what is that you need to collect? So ask your team, your client who has built this form in their website. So let's take an example of email. They are collecting email, they are collecting the first name, okay, they are collecting the last name. Okay, I'll go with a simple one. Okay. First name, email, first name and last name. And for email, so if you are coming from an HTML background, you know that you need to have an input, you need to have type attribute, name attribute, id attribute, and a value attribute. Okay, if you are a HTML developer, so what do you need to collect? This is the one you need to collect. Name. You need to collect the name from your client. Okay, so the field which they are collecting, name, this name is required before you build your form handler. Okay, before you build your form handler. So the name, so type is all dependent on them, so the name is very important for us. What is the name? I'll be taking the name from the client. So client is giving, stating that okay, email is collected as email address. Okay, first name is collected in this field name called f name, last name is collected as last name. Okay, these are the things. So you need to collect this information from them. So they have given the email address, the f name and name, and this is case sensitive, this is case sensitive. So now, since I have the information, so I'll be creating a form handler for their website. So I'll call this one as website homepage form handler, because they have that form handler in the website homepage. So I'll just put it in the same folder here. Okay, now I would like to place them into a campaign. Do I have a campaign for that? If not, I'll be creating that. For now, I'll go with 2025. Okay, so tracker domain would be go.mc. So would you like to kiosk enable? So as I mentioned, I'll be referring this. On successful, would you like to place them to any specific URL or referring URL error location? Completion actions. And this is very, very important, because you are not creating a form in account engagement, but you are placing that. So first, how many fields? Three fields with the name, email address, f name and l name. So create a form handler here. Completion actions, so you can also add this. This is not mandatory for anyone. So form fields, so I would like to add form fields. The external field name is f name, and they want to place this in the field called first name of prospect, which is in the format of text. Required or not, you need to collect. And this one, the field name in the external site is email address. Okay, change this, which will be collected here. Data format is email, and it's a required field. And the last one will be the L name, and it will be stored in the last name here. So for this, you need a website form and others, so which we can also go text. Is it required? Yes, it is required. I'll say. So these are the things which you need to collect it. Kiosk data, I'll explain this one. So first, I'll click on confirming this create form handler. Once you complete this, what is next? What is next? Next is very, very important. You need to ensure that your form handler, okay, edit form handler, view form handler code. Click on this button and take this form and give it to your web developer. So what is that they will be doing? They will change existing form header, this one, to this one, because this will come into go dot. This is the form handler ID, and anything which is being posted here. So this is what they should change. Okay, ask your web developer to change, because they might be having a method, and action will be something else. For example, they might be having um, what is that? So MCAE force.com/submit, something like this might be there. So they have to change the action. This is very, very important, that they should update the existing form action to the new one, which is given from our form handler. Now, if someone is submitting the form in their website, they will be pushed into this one. Now, they have to update this one. First, you will collect the name, F name, and L name. Okay. With this, I'll be giving a pause on the concept of form handler, and landing pages. So forms and landing pages will be together because you have created the form in account engagement and it will be placed in a landing page. Forms can also be placed in an iframe. Forms can be also placed in an iframe. So I'll go to my forms. I'll repeat that step. So MCAE registration form, and don't forget, you need to collect this code. This is an iframe code which should be copied and given to your web developers. If they are okay to use the form created in account engagement, but they don't want to create a landing page, then this iframe will be given. In my scenario, I created a form, I created a landing page, both are in account engagement. The scenario number one, perform in account engagement. You want to place it in landing page of account engagement, that's fine. But you want to only have a form in account engagement, but you want to place it in your website, then you'll be giving this iframe. Scenario number three, team has very clearly specified we have a form built in our website. We just want to submit the data into account engagement. In that case, you'll create a form handler, collect all the names, required, not required, all the information, and create a form handler. This action has to be changed in their existing form. This is the one which is given from a form handler. Okay. So, oh, this is great. I can see a lot of email addresses. Don't worry, we'll be not exposing this anywhere. So I'm just showcasing on this one. With this, we'll be moving with the next concept of automations, which is dynamic list, page actions, automation tools, and the completion actions. Completion action is one thing which I've already done. Is it completed? No, we have couple of more things to learn with respect to forms. Okay, still more things are there. I would like to explain what is a progressive profiling. I would like to explain you people something called dependent forms. Okay, dependent fields basically. So I'll give a pause here. I'll give you people a minute or two. If you people have any questions, put it on the Q&A. So one of the questions is, will you be getting this? Yes, you will be getting it in our YouTube channel. Okay. Any questions on form handlers? So this is your lead generation tools. Once the lead is generated, we need to nurture them. So many people are submitting. As I've mentioned, the user of this one, it is there. Okay, good. No questions? Absolutely fine. But still, I'll give exactly 1 minute, one more minute. Hello everyone. Just wanted to know if you people have any questions. Last 30 seconds. Start posting your questions. I think I have one question. Let me pick that up if I have it any. Okay, I don't think so. I have any questions to address. Okay, I have a question, I guess. I'm not sure. I'm not able to see that. Let me check whether it is in Q&A, DMs. No. There is a question, I guess, but I'm unable to see it. No. Okay, that's fine. I'll try to address it at the end. Okay. It's here. No. Muhammad Pasha. Just a minute. Think there is a question, but I'm unable to see it. Can you just send? Okay. Recording will be initially consists on. No. Q&A. Most voted one. Related to form, which was actually in the top. Is possible to take the form in my sales code? Yes, you can. Okay. So basically, it is not directly available, but you need to take the iframe and place it in your sales and service cloud. So I want to know more about this specific question. So if you want to take it to sales cloud, you want to be visible in sales cloud, or you want to take it as a form to be placed in your web to lead form, or a visual force page, or a lightning page which has been created. If you want to place it in your lightning page, yes, you can place it by adding that iframe. This is the question which I got from Gautam Selvam. Let's consider that I have a sales cloud or connected with marketing cloud, or in Salesforce, I have custom LWC component. In that, I am able to get that form which is created in Marketing Cloud. To be specific, it is Marketing Cloud Account Engagement Cloud. Marketing Cloud is a separate tool. Yes, you can bring that form into your iCloud if iframe is supported there. Good. Hope I answered your question, Gautam Selvam. Okay. Awesome. I don't know why. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, it's going on the top. That's fine. Okay. Newest one is on the top. Thank you. I got the how it is looking. Okay. Awesome. So I'll be moving with the automation concepts. Okay. So the concepts of automation. So let me start sharing my screen, and I will be explaining within the tool. So tool is here. Do I need this? Not required. So I have one more concept to explain in the forms, then I'll be going with the automation concepts. So let me go back to my forms. In the forms, let me pick and open my form here, which is MCAE registration. And I would like to explain two more concepts here. Specifically, which I would like to explain on the fields tab is, whenever you're adding, I want to collect only the email addresses which are not from ISP, because this is a B2B marketing tool. I want to collect only the corporate email addresses. You can see the data format here. The type is text, but I want to collect email with valid mail servers, or with email not from ISPs like Gmail, Yahoo, and others, and free mail providers. You can change this one too. Okay, one option. Second thing which I would like to explain you people while creating this is, I would like to add two more fields, okay, where I would like to explain. So in the forms, I would like to explain one of the concepts known as dependent. So I would like to add a country field, okay, which will be in text format. Second one, I would like to add a state field, okay. Quickly, let me explain this one. How does this work? I want to display state. Okay. I want to display state only if the country selected is USA. Okay. So how do I do it? I'll go back to my editing mode here. So you can see that there is a dependent field. So I would like to load this with some default data. Okay. You can go with on advanced here. You can check this one. I'll go to values. Why it is not shown? Text. I would like to make it as a drop down text. load with some default data. This is out of the box feature which is coming from account engagement. Okay, default value field loaded successfully. Type is drop down and it's of type text. Okay, let me go here. Pre-fill with this. So you have a default being given here. You can go with country, country codes, US states, US state codes, Canadian provinces, US state and Canadian. You can see this information, right? So you can only pick the one which is here. So I'll go with countries and you can see the list here. Can we have a custom one? The answer is no as of today. You can add more values, but these are coming as a default one. I would like to save this one first. Okay, this is a drop down. Now I want to display the state. I'm explaining this one. Okay, dependent. So display other fields in this form based on the value of this field. That is the country field. I want to display the state. If the value is United States, then I would like to display the state field. When this field is equal to United States, show the field state. Okay, I'll click the button save. Now I'll confirm and save. Now I'll just show you people on that one. So I'll click on this form directly. Dependent field. So this is my email address. So what do you observe? You don't see my first name and last name. Why? Because this form is cookied. You will see only the field which has not been filled previously. So I'll explain that on also. So observe the screen. You don't see a state field, but you'll be able to see only the state when it is United States. If I change it to Canada, it's not. This is your dependent field. Okay, now I would like to explain the progressive profiling. What is progressive profiling? I would like to collect information from them if they have filled the form for the first time. If they have filled the form for the first time, they'll be filling email, first name, last name. If they come back to fill the same form again, I would like to collect their job title. So I'll add the field job title, okay, which is of the text format, which is not required initially, but I want to make it as a progressive profiling. Show this field only if the prospect already has data in the following fields. Use progressive profiling to collect more data over series of multiple form submissions by spreading out your form to collect more. So what is the condition? They should have filled the email address and the last name. If they have completed these two fields on this form when they submit it for the first time, they should be able to see the job title. Okay, let us see that, hoping that it should work. So progressive profiling, I'll link on this one. I have already submitted. You can see this field here. So now I would like to give this experience. First, let me go to my account, that is the landing pages. Okay, I'll collect this landing page link. Okay, and I'll open this landing page link in a separate web form. Okay, so this is a totally altogether a new browser. I'm submitting the form here, the link here. And now, since I've not submitted this form in this page, you can see the email address, first name, last name, and the country code. Where is the job title? It is not there. Why? Because I've not submitted this form before. What is progressive profiling? You will be able to see some of the fields if they have completed the email and the last name. Okay, let me submit this one. So for now, just give me 1 second. I'll collect the email address here. I'm sharing my screen again. And now I'm submitting the form here. So this is the email address which I would be taking. The first name is Chandra, the last name is Prasad. Okay, to make it simpler, I'll go with different names. So I'll go with Chandra Prasad, and the last name is Raju. I'll select the country. This is dependent field. State is dependent on this value. So I'll specify any value. So you can also have some values here. I'll register here. Before registering, let me copy this link. So I'll submit the form. If I visit this form again, if I visit the same form without clearing the cookie, I should be able to see. So it is redirecting. So what is the time taken to resubmit it? So that is the next interesting thing which you should be learning. Okay, what is the form? I'm selecting this form. Now the next one, completed with the fields. So two interesting concepts which I wanted to explain is dependent field and the job title. Okay, so let me confirm and save. I'm in the same browser. If I click the button submit, this one, what do you see? You'll see my email address is automatically filled. I'll select the country where I'll be going with some value here, and job title, I'm a MCAE consultant. I mean, now if I hit the button register, okay, now you can see that it is getting redirected. This is good. It is getting redirected from the form, not from the landing page. That's fine. So now, what is that you're expecting? So I should have that person with job title, right? Let me go back to prospects. Let me go into segmentation list, MCAE registration. There are 18 here. That's really good. This is the guy who submitted it newly, Chandraprasad Raju. This is the person. You can see that 129. 79 was my previous points. Now it is 120 because I've submitted the form twice. So 100 points have been 50 points. Yeah. So what is that looking for is my job title. Can you see this job title? Yes. Now I'll go back to one more prospect in this list. Whether I can click this list? No. As I mentioned, some of the concepts are bigger here. Some of the things are really interesting also. MCAE list. And let us see this guy. Okay, this is the email address. Okay, that's fine. So do you have the job title? No. Because when they submitted it for the first time, it was not having a job title, right? So now, if the same person is trying to submit the form, so but he is unable to do it. Why? Because in the form there is one condition in the advance. This will be the last topic of this one, MCA registration. I'll edit the form. I'll go to completion action screen, the fourth one, and here we have always display the form after submission. Disable 10-minute waiting period after submission. This is not selected. Since this is not selected, the person which I was talking about in this browser, they cannot submit the form. They can only do it after 10 minutes. Why is that happening? Because this is not selected. Okay, this is not selected. So because of which they can submit a form once, they have to wait for 10 minutes before they submit the second one. If you select this checkbox, they can keep on submitting every time. Okay, based on your requirement, you'll be selecting this one. Good. So and they are added to this one and say, okay. Just wanted to explain on that one. So with this, I'll be giving the second pause, and then we are quickly going with three things to understand. One is dynamic list, which is also a kind of automation, page actions, automation rules, and completion action. Completion actions we have discussed, we'll discuss these three. And before we continue on that one, if anyone, please watch the video in the YouTube channel, because these are really, really interesting things on account engagement without writing a single line code. You people can go with those things, right? So if you people have questions on this one, do let me know. So interesting one. So I will be waiting for your questions next week when we connect. Now we have three things to discuss. One is dynamic list, okay, page actions, completion actions, and automation rules. I'll give you some simple tips when to use it. So I'll be going with dynamic list. Dynamic list is the one which keeps on adding and removing the people at regular interval, but we are not sure about the time on it. Okay. Any questions? Okay. So this might go, as mentioned last week, it might go up to 90 minutes. So we have spent around 53 minutes in this session starting at 8 o'clock Indian time. So let me share the screen again, quickly give you the tips and tricks for the automation rules. Dynamic list I've discussed in the last session itself. So please go and watch that video. Page actions. What is page actions? Let me go into the tool, okay, and let me go into account engagement. Page actions, I really forgot. Is it not visible here? It should be whenever they are visiting a specific. Okay, when they submit the form, they should be having that page actions visible. I'm really sorry for that. Yeah, it is under automations. Yeah, it's under automation. I'm really sorry for. What is page actions? Page actions are the one which will help your company. Let me turn off the video because it is occupying some space. Okay, hope you are still able to see my screen. Page actions are rarely used. Page actions are the one which will help you to get any URL, but preferably I would suggest you to specify your company's page URL here. Example is given here as a pricing.html. If someone is visiting a specific page in your site, we want to track it, okay, and we want to ensure that it is a priority page, because people, if they are surfing a lot of pages in your website, one of the pages is the one like this one, pricing page. If they visit that page, we want to notify our sales rep on it. Okay, I'll call this one as website pricing page. Okay, and I'll be going with my entire URL, https colon double forward slash www dot mcae demo.com. This is my website. It's not working, don't go there. And here is my pricing page, pricing.html. If someone is visiting this specific page, I want to give a score for that page as 5, and they are being added as a priority page. We don't have this one, so it says that it is, the URL looks good but it's not working. So I would like to make sure that it is given to my team. So I want to notify the user if they are visiting it. Why? Because if they are very much interested, so I want to have pricing page, or it might be the many other pages. For example, we have products, there are several products, so each product has a separate page. For example, example.html, this is my first product. Okay, let's take as p1.html, this is my first product. I want to see product.html2. So I cannot be writing all of them, then you will go with the regular expression style. Any pages which fall under products one, all the pages will be treated as the priority one, and it will be informing your user. And I would like to even, but they should accept our cookie. Okay, remember that they should accept our cookie of accounting. This is page action. Every time when they submit or when they visit this page, it will be notifying to our admin, notify the user who is our sales rep, who will chase them and they'll try to close it. Okay, and then automation rules. What is automation rules? Automation rules is one of the tools, okay, which will accept the prospect into it. So just like your dynamic rules, okay, dynamic list, it is almost similar to the dynamic list. Only the difference between a dynamic list and automation rules. So here the people get added and removed automatically. But whereas automation rules, if they satisfy the condition, they are added. They will not be removed from there. So keep this very clearly. A difference between dynamic list and automation rules. If they satisfy the condition, they will be added to that rule, but they will not be removed in future if they don't satisfy the condition. Okay, if they don't satisfy the condition, they are not removed. Completion action, we have seen this one, so I would like to know if you have any question. Dynamic list add and remove, automatically it will be taken care. Automation rules, so let us see one of them. I'll click on automation rule. I'll call this one as MCAE automation rule, and folder will be the same, MCAE. Okay, what is the tax? Would you like to repeat these rules? You will be adding condition and you'll add actions, and this has actions like add a prospect to a list, add them to a CRM campaign, adjust the score. You have to work on these things. Salesforce task field, remove them tags, remove, you have notify user and menu. Okay, so automation rule, don't forget the basic thumb rule here. So they'll be added, but they'll be not removed because it is not like that. Is the difference between dynamic list and automation rules. Page actions, when visit a specific page to perform some of the actions, that is your page actions. It's all automated, proactive. So I'll be adding more points here. Just give me a second. So would you like to repeat it? Yes, I would like to repeat this once in 5 days for each prospect, and they'll be allowed to be in this one for 2 times if you allow it. If you don't do it, that's fine. Repeat the rules. Match the condition. Match all the condition with and or one. If it is and condition, if you want to have and, you'll go with match all. To make it simpler for our marketers, we are giving this name. For programmers, it is and or. So people who come from programming background, it is and or feature. So I have two different things to check. I'll create two groups, and each group will have, so the first group, so this the group add rule 1, add rule 2 with or condition, and I would like to add rule 1 and add. So what is the condition is the prospect should have a score. Prospect sure should is greater than 50. Okay, we'll discuss the scoring, and the prospect grade should be in the next session. Prospect grade should be greater than C plus. 50 and C plus. This is or condition or and condition. They should be 50 and greater than C plus, and this will be match any. So this is group 1. Match any of these two. They should be a prospect score greater than 300, and they should be with a prospect grade, so 50 with C, and if I have 300, they should be above D plus, something like this. Would you like to have some actions here? So actions is on, once again, these are the actions which you can. I don't have any actions for now. If I click the button create automation rule, take the mouse away, I'll delete this. Please add one action. So I'll add them to my list. Okay. As an example. Create automation rule. If you create an automation rule, you have to remember one more point. What is that? Automation which you create as a rule is by default paused. You have to resume it. You have to resume it so that it can start running. Okay. So now let me go with this one. Okay. I would like to explain on this one. So this is all based on your prospect action. It is based on your prospect action, and that is your page actions whenever they visit the page. So the remaining things are retroactive. So basically, they run by themselves. Okay, it will be taken care by your account engagement. So this is dependent on your prospects action prospects action. When it comes to running, these are all the one which will run by themselves every time when you complete a page action, whenever you visit it. So dynamic list will be taken care by your account engagement, where it will add and remove prospects. If they satisfy the condition, they're added. If they don't satisfy, they are removed. Second one, it is your automation rule. People satisfy the condition, they are added, but they will be not removed. Okay. And then comes your completion action, which is also the one which is dependent on your user one. Okay, this I'll give a pause, give a try with all these things. So it all depends on the use cases. So dynamic list, whenever we want to add and remove the people based on rules, because they keep changing. And based on automation tools, completion actions. So these are the four automation tools. There is a fifth automation tool, which is known as engagement studio program. So we will be discussing three major topics of account engagement in our next session. Session number 5 is really, really interesting, because we'll be discussing the concept of scores. What is a score? We'll be discussing the concept of grade. We'll be discussing engagement studio program. Okay, these are the unique one in account engagement. So probably next week, once again, it will be 60 minutes and more. You can consider each one might take 20 minutes, based on your questions. And this will be sure it will be for 30 minutes. We will be taking one or two scenarios. Only thing is we don't have an option of sending email, since it is a developer account. So next session, it might be from 10 to 20 minutes. This might go from 10 to 20 minutes next week. And this will be for sure a minimum of 20, 30 minutes. So be prepared for the next session, the final one, where this is the unique thing which you'll find in account engagement, which is different from all the other marketing tools. Engagement studio program, the grading and scoring. This is session number 5. Three specific things which I'll be discussing. With this, session number 4 is completed. I know it's not easy for anyone to stay long more than 60 minutes. You need people break also, but I'll give a stop on this video sharing, and I'll be waiting for your questions. If you have any questions, let me know. And I know we'll be, please do share your feedback also, which we'll be receiving after the email. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you for staying for the complete 60 minutes here. So next week, for sure, it will be taking, I've given the duration also, why it is important to be a part of it, and what is the duration it might take to explain. 10 minutes, my explanation, it might be 10 minutes based on your questions, what you people have around it. Any questions for today, do let me know. I'll be happy to take it up and keep moving. Thank you.
Thanks, Chandra. Is there any questions? You can use the chat.
Yeah, so I don't have any new questions. One question there.
Yeah. So, Chandra, I have one question. This is not directly related to the today's content, but
No, please, no.
maybe
Any
the
previous
previous
content, I'll
ones.
be happy to answer. Yeah.
Yeah. So suppose now we um, we we have the account engagement app and set up everything, but
Okay.
let's say we have a problem with the data sync, right?
Okay.
So when it comes to data sync, we have campaigns, we have contacts, leads, users, or this. So if when it comes to, especially when it comes to campaigns, so what are the things we should consider if it is not getting synced? What are the things we should consider?
Okay, so now let me be very clear. Thank you for that question. So syncing is causing the sync. You mentioned that there might be not syncing happening as we anticipated. So are you specifically talking about the fields of the prospect which is connected to contact or lead? Are you talking about campaign syncing which is not happening properly?
Campaign syncing.
Second question. So are you talking about campaign member status syncing which is not happening, or is it the campaign syncing which is not happening?
Campaign. Campaign
Okay.
record
So
itself.
campaign probably in this setup. So I'll try my best to educate on that one. So when it comes to campaign syncing, okay, I'll go to account engagement settings. Okay. Let me answer this question. So I'll go to the connectors. Okay. Under connectors, first check whether you have any issues here going on. So is it status active? That is the first check. Second check, go to, and you can sync all the prospects here. So that is related to prospects. But let me go to in edit settings. Under edit settings, what is the campaign settings you have given? Let me show you that if this is available on the screen. So user sync, you can see this campaign syncing, right? What is being selected here? Enable connected campaigns and engagement history. Enable campaign member sync to. Have you selected use Salesforce to manage all the campaigns? If you have selected this one, have you picked a specific date or not? Show unconnected campaigns in campaigns tab also. So this affects. Preferably, I would select you to select this option because that will be not causing issue. If that is also the case, so please come back with your questions on that one. I'll try my best to answer it on that one too. Make sense?
Yes, yes, I think
So based
that
on this,
makes sense.
if all these are there, and as usual, if it is not working as expected, obviously we have to reach out our Salesforce support team on that. There might be some issues in
Okay.
the tool. That would be the last option, but first we'll I try to understand what all the options selected. When the campaign syncing is not itself is an issue, then we need to address that particular settings in account engagement settings. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. With
Okay.
this, I'll be saying bye for today. We'll be connecting one last time next week, 31st. Very interesting one. Hoping that everyone will be joining there. Thank you very much. Have a great evening, everyone, and a good night.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good time.
Thank you. Bye bye.